Ladies and gentlemen, my controller. Ah! Before we go any further, I do want to share one thing really quick. It was requested that I not list who did this, but I mentioned as an aside, and I know you're watching if you heard this because you were paying attention enough to catch this. I mentioned as an aside that, hey, I wish that I could pull my chandelier up because we're doing a gym, ghost gym. And then I went and checked out. I was actually mistaken. I never actually got a chandelier. So, someone got me a chandelier. Hello. It's one of the good ones. The Sitting Cuties. And yeah, it's solid. As all of the Sitting Cutie ones are. I'll just put this. I've actually got my melodic on the desk right here in front of me. Hey. So now I've got a melodic and a chandelier just hanging out there. Anyways. A normal amount of burritos per week. I'm thinking 7. I like both of those ideas, Darkrai. Can we make both of those a game? This is why I would be a terrible game developer if I was rich. Because, like, I would greenlight a lot of ideas. And honestly, several of them probably wouldn't be good. I would even go so far as to say most of them probably wouldn't be good. But that's not really the point of that strategy, is that? Like, the goal there is to try stuff. So yeah, so let's make a Mega Man game. About, like, oh no, like you're running around, you're playing as some equivalent of Dr. Wily or Dr. Light. Yeah, exactly, Darkrai. And instead of 6 Pokemon, you have 6 Robot Masters. And you can customize them, similar to the Pokemon format. They get 4 different moves. You can have different abilities to give them passives. Like, honestly, the format fits really well to a lot of things. Oh my god. Wow. Did you see that momentum? That just flung me off the ledge there. I don't know what a Ability Patch is, but soon we will have one. And then it will be even more powerful. Oh yeah, also we'd make it so the render radius is more than 20 feet in front of us. That's another thing we do with the Mega Man Pokemon game. Sticks, actually, not to Sexual. But yeah! Think about it. Robot Master Tournament. You get 6 RMs. They each get 4 moves. You get your passive. You get to equip 1 item, and there's some basic items like E-Tanks. There's also W-Tanks. And, I don't know. We could come up with stuff. I'm sure there's dozens of items we could come up with if we just sat down and thought about it for 5 seconds. How do I go south? Yeah, they do, Blade Ball. I'm telling you. We could make this a thing. Oh, okay, that's probably the road it wants me to go. Let's just warp up here. Well, I was just actually thinking about Blade Default, because if you remember, there is a Mario version of that, Super Mario Mon, which takes the Pokemon format and uses Mario characters for it. And yeah, I think this is actually a workable idea. And we've got that Emerald Dump, which we could play with. I don't know, Lord Harrimont, because I've heard it a few times now. Oh yeah, Too Many Types. I've seen a couple of runs of Too Many Types. That's a little bit too memey for me. I'm sure there's a real game under there, it's just, I kind of don't care. Like, that's a streamer game. And to be clear, I mean that as an insult. Yes, I understand the irony of that sentence. Exactly, select Scoopster. See, I knew you'd understand. YouTube game. I mean, FNAF, right? Or Among Us, or Fall Guys. I know all of these are out of date at this point. I understand that I am behind the times, but that's the point, isn't it? There's specific types of games that are very deliberately built for streaming and streamers. And they're usually flash-in-the-pan variety. Because you're not really supposed to get into them, you're supposed to play them. And play them to death while they're still hot. And then immediately move on to the next big thing the next time it comes out. And you're always wanting to be as early on the next big thing as you possibly can be. So you can capitalize on it as much as possible. Honestly, I would not want to be a streamer. Excuse me, a typical streamer. It sounds incredibly stressful. I would really not want to be a female streamer who is successful. I didn't even know, I don't know her name, don't ask me, actually had to employ a private bodyguard. Until the most recent legal issue with someone attacking her on stage. Yeah, I've played Among Us twice. 2 sessions, I should be clear. And it was fun for what it was, to be clear. And that was it. So I could jokingly say success, Morganite, but actually I'm quite successful when you think about it, statistically speaking. So, no, the actual answer is that there's an attitude and approach that's different. If you remember earlier in this very game, when we were going after Iono, who was the streamer gym leader, That's a typical streamer. That's a regular streamer. They are chasing clicks. They are chasing views. They're constantly having to portray some kind of persona. Make sure that they keep their particular personality on display. Yeah, almost always super energized. They almost always have some kind of gimmick. Something to separate them from the rest of the crowd, you know? And like I just mentioned, they're always chasing trends. A regular streamer is streaming whatever is popular right now. I'm not even sure what that would be at this moment in time. I don't keep track of it anymore, but you know what I mean, right? They wouldn't be streaming Pokemon Violet right now, right? They'd be streaming whatever Zard just made. Yeah, possibly Pokemon ZA, I don't know. They'd probably be crapping on it the entire time. Because they have to follow whatever the current trend is. They have to be on the wave, right? Yeah, I wasn't even talking about the one-game people. Those people are... I feel so bad for them. So some people, they stream one game. And that's it. That's what they stream. Every day. Now, usually that's something competitive. Fortnite being the obvious comparison point. But there's plenty of examples of that. But there's also one genre people. Which is the same general concept, but just a little more branched out. You do stream nothing but RTS games, or you stream nothing but visual novels, or you stream nothing but, I don't know, like management sims, right? And yeah, if you try to stream to branch out and do something you actually want to do, your numbers tank whenever you do that. I mean, yeah, probably so. I mean, someone I follow, although I don't watch his streams, is, I'm Kibitz. I have to think about that for a second. And he pretty much exclusively does management sim stuff. Anytime he branches out, his numbers tank, because that's how that works. I do, Loke. Yeah, also, taking a break can usually lead to a lapse of momentum. Momentum is a really dangerous thing when it comes to streams. I even suffer from momentum problems. Because if you lose momentum, you can pretty much permanently lose people, viewers, and of course, donators. What the heck is that? The target for Gigapudding's endless rage, apparently. Yeah, no kidding. PM Triops. I am eternally grateful that I have a functional wage. I will not say a living wage. I still rely on the charity of my family to give me a roof over my head. But I do have a functional wage with my relatively small audience. And let me tell you, that's not common. So, thank you. If you guys didn't donate, I probably wouldn't be here doing this right now. So when I take over the world, all of you get your own spas. Alright, you know, that's another thing I kind of refuse to do. I'm not e-begging. I refuse. Straight up. Like, there's this wonderful psychology baked into e-begging, right? Oh, I'm completely with you on that, Luke. Because even if, let's say for a moment that I actually need the money. Like, I really need the money for some strange reason, right? Well, that kind of creates a weird feedback loop, which is the first problem. Because at that point, I am straight up saying, hey, please, I need your money. Just $5 from everyone. For the love of God, do not actually donate when I'm doing this, please, okay? I'm just making a point. So, like, imagine I'm just sitting here being like, oh, man, I sure could use this money because X, Y, or Z. So, A, if you donate, you are now feeling entitled, which makes sense because you did just give me money. B, I may or may not actually need that. I might be lying to you or deceiving you. Or I might actually have a real need. And the fact that you can't tell the difference is part of the problem immediately. Then, there's several other problems related to that. Like how some people will start to, like, stalk people or hunt them down, and various other parasocial nonsense which can happen, specifically when money gets involved. So it kind of creates this awful feedback loop of having to keep e-begging and not wanting to e-beg anymore because of how dangerous it is. But you kind of have to keep on the treadmill, and it's not a good place to be. If you have money to give me, that's awesome, and I appreciate it. But you're not going to hear me say, please donate or sub, because no. Oh yeah, that's the last reason I don't like doing that. It irritates me. That's a purely personal thing. I know I'm not exactly normal in that. But anytime someone actually flat out says, like, subscribe, donate, comment, etc., my first instinct is to not do that. Hi, Huthor. I don't remember Kennex Go. Of course they did, Pika. It's Bethesda. Yes, I did actually hear Hoover, because that's financial news. How do I encourage people to go to Patreon, then? I don't. If you're in a position to support me financially, and are sufficiently motivated to do so, you are going to do that whether I beg you to or not. Me trying to coerce you or market my own stuff is not going to convince anybody who wasn't already convinced. Now, if someone asks, this has actually happened before, I would like to support you, how do I do so? I will run you through the options, because I have those memorized, because of course I do. Yep, direct donations has been the most effective method for years, and still is, as of this very moment in time. If you really want to support me, there's a donate button somewhere. Don't click it. Some of you probably don't even remember this. The website used to not have a donation button on it. It was actually specifically requested that I add it to the website so people who were donated could do it without going through Twitch. Let's have it come. I've wondered about that too, PM Triox. Well, mostly just people didn't want to go to the Twitch website, because Twitch's website is slowly getting worse over time. Is that the Goth Girl? That is the Goth Girl. Hey! Or less, Sub-Zero. But yes, that is correct. Direct donations, it's actually close to like 95%. It's the majority of the donation from direct donation goes straight to me. So yeah, Ubisoft, right? There's an extremely high certainty that what's happening right now with Ubisoft is that they are in the middle of talks about getting sold. And they're at like the final step into being sold. Move's power is doubled if the user's previous move failed. Yeah, it's gonna be Tencent, almost guaranteed. Direct donations to me do not go through tariffs at all. What's going on with Ubisoft? Nothing new, Retro Justice. I mean, honestly, it really is just a Tuesday at this point. So, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, it's actually been a while at this point, several heads of state, Jesus Christ, heads of the company, like chief officers, right, so CFOs, CEOs, etc., were brought into court over sexual harassment. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, another wave of that, but I need to explain something for a second. Because when I say court, I actually mean criminal court. And you may or may not know this, but criminal court is actually a completely different field from court, right? So they were being brought in for... Hang on. We'll deal with that in a second. They were being brought in for criminal charges over that. I don't want to say that was the beginning of the end, but that was the beginning of the end. Now, that trial lasted a while. They were all found guilty. They are all still currently serving prison time for that. That's interesting. Ooh. Right, I forgot to look at its type. As usual, that's my fault. Anyways, so in the midst of that kind of falling apart, there were two other major issues Ubisoft is falling into. The first, I like them so far, Retro Justice. The first is that Ubisoft was expanding its user base. You remember when a lot of companies got buyouts in order to help them survive the pandemic? Well, almost every major corporation in the world decided to blow that money on stupid things, which actually is one of the reasons why we're having a bit of a bubble right now, and why people have been getting fired by the tens of thousands for the last year or so. That's why that's been a thing. And yeah, there's been some stock buybacks and all kinds of other stuff. And basically, I metaphorically gave Savacom some money to help her with COVID, and she decided to use that to buy lottery tickets. That's a hell of a simplification, but that is essentially what happened. Ubisoft was one of those groups. So every company that did that started having issues because, you know, they did that. Yes, I have, Darkrai. And it's been pretty cool. I also used the wrong ability for some reason. Yeah, earlier I was fighting someone way above my weight class, and I was just cheering to help out the rest of the team. No, Blateron is dead. Microsoft isn't going through a tough time yet. Give it about a year. Anyways. So, that's Strike 2 for Ubisoft. Strike 3 is the Guillaumes, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, and honestly, I kind of don't care, because screw them. Do I have one? I don't remember if I have one of these, so I'm just going to catch one just to be sure. So, for those of you not aware of the family, the Guillaumes are old money, and all that that implies. And they have been in charge of Ubisoft for quite a few years at this point. I don't just mean the CEO slot, I mean, like, they have people all throughout the company, because they're old money, that's how that works. Good old boys, right? they're on their way out. I don't mean like they're losing money. I mean they are de-investing themselves from Ubisoft. And that means the primary financial backer of the entire company is backing away from it. Looks like I already had one. Whatever. Is that a good thing? It's an interesting question. So yeah, I think my shiny went away, guys. That's actually kind of funny, honestly. Oh, 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 oh. So anyways, when the AI bubble bursts, Microsoft will implode completely. Might actually self-destruct. We'll see. Anyway, so oh, absolutely, PM Triox. Yeah, Ubisoft is actually one of the biggest pound-per-pound publishers out there. So they're going through some stuff. Now, on top of that, I mentioned the Guillaumes thing specifically. They have been pretty open about the fact that they're trying to de-invest, which usually means they're trying to sell. Tencent, actually quite a few companies, but Tencent in particular has been very open and overt about the fact that they want to buy. So what is most likely happening right now? Oh yeah, and then we add what Huthor mentioned, which is Ubisoft has not been making very financially successful games lately. So what you have from all those factors is a company that's kind of falling apart and in the middle of being bought out by someone else. Now, there are other possibilities there, but that's the most likely outcome. It's that the Guillaumes are trying to de-invest themselves and push Ubisoft onto someone else. Oh man, Skull and Bones was such a great thing. Shouldn't Microsoft be focusing on Xbox? I mean, I wouldn't if I was them. Microsoft had a good thing going for quite a while, actually, until, I'd say, about last year. No, Microsoft's mistake was being multiple divisions that are constantly fighting themselves rather than a monolith. Who would I want Ubisoft to be bought by? I don't think there's a good case scenario there. The companies that are big enough to bite Ubisoft are worse than Ubisoft. We've got the Saudi Arabian princes, Tencent, arguably Microsoft. We just mentioned that. They're not going to, though. Google probably could. They're not going to. Steel Fair, that just sounds cool. Yeah, the list of companies that could and care enough to is pretty small. EA is way too small. A lot of people misunderestimate how big EA is. EA is so small, they arguably don't qualify as a big publisher. Also, EA just got bought out by the Saudi Arabian princes. Sony's probably big enough overall, but I'm not sure if Sony Gaming is, if that makes sense. Okay, town. Woo. Nice place. Alfornada. Oh my god, right, the pun. That's an appropriate town to be in when we're discussing Ubisoft. All for nada. So that's water? Poison? I don't know what that is. What is that icon? Okay, poison. Let's let Monobrand have a... Here. Yeah, but there's 3 purples. There's Ghost, Poison, and Dragon. Yeah, Nintendo does a lot of dumb, stupid, irritating, aggravating things, and they are still, by far, the best big publisher out there. They're arguably not even a big publisher, really. They just don't operate in the same circles that the other companies do. Yeah, big in name. I mentioned this earlier. One of the biggest ways to understand how Nintendo operates is to understand that they have an extremely low operable debt. Like, they carry around a couple million debt bubble at any given point in time. Which is a joke. What's that? Oh, I know what that is. It's a teacup! I mean, yeah, Pika. Ah! I thought maybe it wouldn't kill it. Yeah. Yeah, they're not right-leaning. They are a conservative company. And that has worked out for them pretty well for a long time. It can be frustrating. But it does mean they don't pull some of the, you know, actually criminal stuff like Ubisoft does. Or the annoying mobage debt chain that a lot of other companies delved into. Like, it's all about gradients, right? There's bad, there's awful, then there's worse, then there's terrible, then there's horrific, then there's nightmarish, then there's atrocious, and it just keeps going down. It just keeps going down from there. In terms of raw money, they're actually one of the smaller publishers, Lo. And that's what I mean. There's no arguing that. You can disagree all you want, but you can't disagree with math. Sorry. You're wrong. Yeah, then there's Tencent. We don't talk about Tencent. No, Zart. Nintendo is one of the smallest big publishers. I guess I could just try a quick ball. We do have access to those finally. Okay, let's do it. So people see EA and Nintendo as the big companies because they're in the news all the time. There's actually a term for that. I forget what it's called. But it's perception bias, I think. Something like that. Sinistea gets into your body when you drink it and then steals your vitality within. It also tastes awful. So it's clearly black tea. Anyone want to be the tea? One through 100, if you want to be it. So, like, you hear about EA all the time because EA usually publishes stuff you actually give a damn about. Most people, and even Tencent is only really starting to become a company that people actually understand exists because they keep putting their fingers into so many different pies. Most of the most evil companies in the world you've never heard of because they do stuff that doesn't really intersect your everyday life. And that's arguably a good thing. And it is all a gradient. Nintendo shutting down fan projects or suing people over dumb reasons is bad. But again, it goes down from there, right? So let's see. Looks like this one's going to... Vigilant and Kitten Fan. You both guessed it on the spot. It was 37. So do me a favor. Both of you repick. Also, plenty of YouTubers. I'm just going to be nice about this as I can. Or no, grifters. Let's just say grifters, because grifters hit TikTok and Twitter, excuse me, and all kinds of other stuff. Plenty of grifters find plenty of money in going after companies like Nintendo. Looks like that's going towards Vigilant. Oh. So they keep the public consciousness, the public awareness of that high. Yeah, nobody's really going to sit down and watch a 30-minute YouTube discussion about how horrific insert holding firm 75 is. And what they've been doing to, rentals in certain areas. Like, think about what happened with Bregwin's apartment company and whatever investment firm pushed that nonsense idea. Nobody wants to sit down and watch a whole grift video about that. They want to hear about how Nintendo is ruining your childhood. Unfortunately, yes, I do, Kitten Fan. I like this town. Check this out. Like, look at the layout here. Why do you think so, Pika? Oh, there they are. Oh my god. Oh my god, there they are. Hey look, it's Pikachu. And hey look, it's Zubat. Oh yeah, no, the AI bubble is guaranteed to pop. It's actually kind of funny. I was sharing this recently because someone was asking how the heck the AI bubble can keep going because everyone knows it's going to pop. Everyone with a functioning brain knows it's going to pop. We've known it's going to pop for over a year, right? It's kind of like hot potato in a really, really dumb way and playing with things that actually affect people's lives. Nobody wants to be the one left holding the potato. So everyone's trying to offload as much of that debt and as much of that cycle onto other companies in order to make sure that they themselves are as dominant as possible so that their particular group, their particular company, their particular investments don't get hit as hard as everyone else is going to get hit. Now, unfortunately, the way that everyone's doing that is by constantly trying to push the bubble even further. There's also some stupidity involved here, because quite a few people are still trying to recoup the money they have already lost on AI. See, that's the problem, Lord Harriman. The bubble is guaranteed to pop. Let's just start with that. There's no deny that. There's no lack of a bubble pop. It's not physically possible. The question now is how long is it going to take? And every day that it doesn't pop, the bubble gets bigger. Yeah, exactly, Retro Justice. Yeah, like I said, hot potato isn't a perfect analogy, but you get it. I love these. I love these stupid mosaics. Yeah, AI is hilariously unprofitable. So everyone's trying to make sure that they are selling at just the right moment to push just the right way, and so that things are going to be good for them and bad for everyone else. Yeah, NFTs burst pretty quickly. Of course they did. NFTs didn't have Nvidia pumping actual billions of dollars into the market. That's an interesting question, Lord Harriman. And truthfully, I can't predict what's going to happen when this bubble pops, because, well, I don't want to be doom and gloom, but it's already been too long. You know what I mean? It has already taken too long to pop. The damage is going to be pretty bad. We are most likely looking at another 2008, and that's going to suck. What that's going to do for the AI in general and its usage, that's a good question. I mean, yeah, the AI technology will most likely continue to exist. People will probably stop pushing it. So that'll be nice. Yeah, 2008 was the most recent big housing crash. A worldwide housing crash, I should mention. Some people think that just hit the States. That I can't even predict, Logue, because what's the nicest possible way I could say this? Brain-dead morons who wouldn't know how to breathe if not for the fact that someone was telling them how to have been using AI regularly and frequently. It's actually become a normalized aspect of people using it as a search engine, as their source of information. There's a non-zero chance that these brain-dead idiots who are contributing to the entire world being a worse place, demonstrably and objectively on an everyday basis, are going to continue to be using, AI to some extent or another. Now, the good news is that there is extremely likely to be some paywall barriers set up. As in, you won't be able to just go to Google and do it. There's a very high chance that you will have to pay a subscription fee to even actually interact with, AIs. Because there are going to be people who are going to be trying desperately to, at the very least, keep the lights on. Because you have to remember, AI doesn't just burn money not like crazy, just from existing, but every time you do anything, anytime you pull a prompt, there's a very real, god damn it, very real tangible cost that's happening here in terms of electricity and in terms of hardware usage, among other things. It's not exactly a huge loss, but there is a tangible loss every single time anybody uses an AI prompt. A financial loss, a hardware loss, an electricity loss, a resource loss, and an environmental loss. That's an interesting question, Lord Harriman. I'm not sure. Legitimately. We're at the point now where people are... Picture the old cartoon thing where you've got a shovel, a pile of coal, and a furnace. That's where we're at right now. People are funneling coal into this furnace as hard as they can. It's honestly, and I'm just going to be very real for a second here, it's really funny in like a really horribly dark humor kind of a way. Like, you have to laugh at it. You have to laugh at the sheer desperation of what's happening as people are just like, keep the furnace on, keep the furnace on. Oh, go figure, Vigilant. Still, it'll be interesting to go after it myself. So it was like the first episode good, Vigilant? I mean, just generally, right? Let's see. So we'll put that towards Dispatch. Old World Blues and Dr. Robotnik's Ring Racers. Nice. So it'll be interesting to see how that levels out. Like, is what I'm feeling. Thank you, Vigilant, as always. Oh yeah, right now. As literally right now. in preparation for the next round of oh god, can't think what the term is. If Valerian was here, he could help me with this. This U.S. Senate is about to start voting on some things, and there is a huge financial push to forbid all AI laws, to literally just have AIs be completely legality free. No guesses on who's pushing that. Oh, it's actually terrifying, Morgan, and I just want to be clear about this. The reason you're not hearing me sit here and freak out is because I'm a real human being and not some kind of caricature cartoon character like most streamers are. I am legitimately scared of what's going to happen when the AI bubble bursts. I am glad the move already happened, you know what I mean? Although we do still currently have 2 mortgages to deal with because the first house still has not sold. Right now, that financial burden is sitting upon me. And, I'm just going to be really honest for a second, that is not a financial burden I can bear forever. So I'm just kind of slowly bleeding out right now to keep us afloat. And that's before the bubble bursts. So no, this sucks. It sucks in that wonderful kind of way that I hope most of you never experience. Having been to court myself, I like to think of it as, you know, there's like, oh man, like I spilled my meal all over my nice shirt. That sucks, right? Then there's a judge pulls you into a courtroom and says, so we're going to be sentencing you for 10 years of prison for what we believe to be tax evasion. It's different, right? It feels different. It's much more grounded, much more down to earth, much more terrifying in a way that isn't a T-Rex stomping after you, right? It doesn't trigger your fight or flight in the same way. It's just kind of this horrifying dread. That's where we're at. So let's check out this gym, shall we? I think I'm going to give a positive to this place for brickwork. Because this is cool. I like the architecture here. I like the houses. I like the mosaic. I forget what this is called. I love those. Yeah, literal brickwork in this case. Alfornada. Alfornada. I spelled that right. Okay. Yeah, go for it, Uther. Why not? If we are to be damned. Honestly, me too, hard-boiled one. Like, I figured this would probably be at least a decent game, but so far it's been much better than I was expecting. Excuse me. Speaking of, I need to jot down some things. Oh, God. I mean, yeah, that's the play, right, Uthor? Who's gonna stop you? And for those of you not aware, obviously there's some humanitarian reasons behind why we would not want China to reclaim Taiwan. But the real problem there, is Taiwan is the source of a lot of chips for the entire world. Controlling that chip supply is such a big deal that multiple countries, including the one we live in, well, I live in, have been dumping billions of dollars on trying to invent chip industries here, simply so we're not so reliant on Taiwan. This is nothing new. This is years old at this point. lot of this was pushing through. Okay, so let's see. We've got... Okay, and then we went over here to the port. Yeah, West Taiwan has been a constant threat. Go figure. Here we go. The Dollies, whatever. Montenevara, that was the other one. Yeah, it's such an interesting experience. Yeah, Phoenix. I knew there was one in Phoenix, which is part of that initiative. Okay, so we covered that, we covered that, we covered... Okay. So let's do the gym, shall we? Wait, hang on. Let's rotate out mode. Let's see how this wakes up. Hey, I heard the good news. Congrats on gym badge number 6. Not even a tenth of the trainers who take out the gyms get this far, you know. I'm not surprised you made it. I just knew there was a reason you caught my eye. Thanks? I don't know. Trust me, I can tell from our very first battle you're gonna go seriously strong. Yeah, I get it, I'm the PC. Anyway, I bet you could use a little warming up before you take out the gym, huh? Come on, you know the drill by now. Okay, hi, Free. Sorry, Morgan, I don't mean to bring it in. I apologize. So I believe this is Gym 7, I want to say. We need, we're missing 1 Titan, and we're missing 2 teams. I don't know if I feel like we've never given a game a positive for multi-language support before. I'm not saying we can't or shouldn't, it's just we've never done that before. If we do... Oh god, I don't even know how I double-check that for auditing. I've never kept track, so I don't know which games we've covered that have actually, you know, had multi-language support. How many games are reviewed? A couple hundred. Story-wise, so far I'm torn between Team Star and the Titans. Both of those are pretty legit. The gym battles have been fine. Mostly more interesting on the gameplay axis than the story. I don't have an ice type of any kind, do I? Me too, Blade Jamal. Although that's been a thing since Gen 4? I don't remember when. I'm still with it. I thought Larry's day job was the food place. I mean, yeah, you might just have an office job, which... No, the Sword and Shield people, like, that was their full-time job. They were full-time football players. Excuse me. Pokemon players. Oh. Yeah, no, that hurt, Darkrai. That hurt. What I'm doing here is actually pretty risky, so I'm hoping this is actually going to pay off. Now we're going to Terastallize and Charger. Larry did earn a story positive. He needs it. The good news about Flower Trick is it's dependable damage. The bad news is it's going to kill me next round. Okay, we're good. Gamble successful. Ooh, Shadow Ball. Give a ghost attack to the ghost type. I knew I was right to believe in you. Yeah, give me your money. Where's my money? Why? Where's my money? It's an L for me. Man, you've gotten so good. I think it should be enough of a warm-up. You and your Pokemon should be all set now. Here, have some max potions. Thanks. 2 gyms remaining. All it's left is to be a champion. Give it all you got. Okay. Well, I gotta go heal. Because somebody... Not gonna say who. So what's the special... Well, I guess I could just log. Torch Song. 80 power, 100 accuracy. And raises special attack. I mean, raising your special attack with your attack is certainly nice, but I guess that's it. Still, he has got the special attack to buff that, so... I mean, that would make sense if this is the southern coast of the Iberian Peninsula. There's probably some Muslimisms going on around here. But will always boost special attack. Okay, that is a little different. I didn't catch that. Okay, gym time. Moorish. I knew there was a word for it. I couldn't think of it. Welcome to Alfornada. Get it? Let me register as a challenger. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, gym test is... Work up a sweat with a special kind of exercise. Emotional spectrum practice, created by Tulip herself. Okay. Let's do it. Oh no, it's Simon Says. Oh no. I'm terrible at Simon Says. Oh gosh, there's a bunch of us here. Oh, so welcome, new kid. This is where we do emotional spectrum practice. This is why your battle studies teacher. Why is your battle studies teacher at a Pokemon gym working as an instructor? I've been friends with the gym leader Tulip since we were kids. We decided to have a Pokemon battle with a special rule. The loser has to do what the winner says. Never mind what happened. Point is, this is my chance to get a workout and help my friend when I don't have classes. The rules of emotional spectrum practice, or ESP, are simple. It's called Simon Says. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Like, the whole reason Simon Says is a game, well, proper Simon Says game is a thing, it's because you're supposed to do it sequentially, right? So it's a memory game. So you do green, and then green, blue, and then green, blue, green, and then green, blue, green, red, and then green, blue, red, green, yellow, and so forth and so on. That was pathetic. And it's still going for some reason. At least we have a battle. Oh, thank God. Yeah, this is basically... I agree. This actually probably is our first gym negative. But that's true, Maverick. You're right. I hadn't thought about that. Slow time event. Oh my God. So I think we might have this gym back. Oh God, you're right. This is less of a game than Simon Says. Because there's no Simon Says component. That kid gave me 6,000 Poké Dollars. Why does this kid have 60 bucks lying around? I hear muscles screaming with delight. That's not my muscles. What's funny is I actually really like some of the minigames. And then I kind of like some of the minigames. This is the first one I've actively not liked. Negative to gameplay. It's okay, that's surely it, right? LOL, 3. I haven't used one yet, Loke, so I have no idea. I haven't been leveling. Yeah, the claw saved me there. I haven't been using any of the non-team ones yet. Okay. Well, we're dead. So, immune to ghost type, huh? Goodbye. Actually, no. 2 pluses for the music overall. Honestly, there's only been, I want to say, 2 songs that have really stuck out for me. In most previous Pokemon games, there's a few songs that are just like, yes! Route 6, or Marnie's theme, or the gym battle, all in Shield. But so far, we've got the Team Star song, which was a banger. And then the Star Boss song, which is also a banger. I think those are the only 2 that have really jumped out at me. Now, I'll tell you one thing this game does better music-wise than any Pokemon game before this. It's the Yoshi drums. Each region has its own song, which has its own song, moving around version, sneaking version, fighting version, and I feel like victory version as well. Yeah, exactly, Darkrai. Very Banjo-Kazooie in its Yoshi drums. It's been really good. I am tempted to give it a triple. I think so far we've only had, like, 2 other games that have had a triple. I don't remember the other one. One's Devil May Cry 5, because, duh. I actually have a spreadsheet I can double-check that on. Let's see, what is our other triple positive? For Yoshi drums, let's see. There's DMC5. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. I knew there was another one, I just couldn't remember what it was. And I'm just double-checking myself. Yep. There are 2 games that have gotten a triple positive for Yoshi drums. Can anyone guess the other one? So far, obviously. I don't think we've really reviewed any Yoshi games, you know. This is the Psychic Gen, which I hope we're about to run over. Yoshi's Island's a good guess. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is another good guess. But you're all incredibly wrong. Nah, once I tell you, what the world is she wearing? I suppose you're right. Okay, I'll get things moving here on my end. Let's keep the tagline simple. Naturally beautiful. Is she a rarity? Order the new eyeshadow color too, would you? Thanks, you're a doll. Gotta run now. Chat with you later. She does look like a fairy trainer. Oh my god. You ever heard of the concept of a butterface? I'm Tulip, the gym leader here. I must tell you that being a makeup artist is my main line of work. Ginger had nothing but praise for you, said you totally slayed out there. I must say you're a cute challenger. I'm sure my exercise made you all the more beautiful. Doesn't that make you happy? Keep your Pokemon beautiful and clean. I see you have quite the aesthetic sense. I look at my giant party of dead. Appearance is equally important for both people and Pokemon. Makeup is like magic. Anyone can use it to change their appearance. I will make your cute Pokemon even more beautiful. Hell? I guess that's the evolution you mentioned earlier. Who's up front? Oh, God. Giraffe. Anyways, the answer, for anybody who was wondering, Doom 4. Doom 4 was the other game that got a triple positive for the Yoshi drums. Doom 4's music is very dynamic, based on whatever's happening at a given moment and where you are when that thing happens. Like, it's barely music in the more traditional sense of the word, because there's so many chunks to it that are weaved together appropriately. Okay, so this is like the worst possible Pokemon to be doing this with, so well, let's check Retro Justice. Let's see, Mario Wii. I assume you mean New Super Mario Bros. Wii, to be very clear. So, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. There's the news. There it is. Did not actually get Yoshi drums. Mario Wonder did, though. And New Mario U did. Hurricane. Accuracy 70. Oof. Espathra? I don't even know what that is. Let's gamble. Let's gamble and go back to Mook. I've been kind of pushing Mook lately anyways. Yeah, exactly, Chill Pangolin. No, the thing you're probably thinking of, Retro Justice, for Yoshi drums in Mario Wii is how most of the songs follow the same motif with a slight variance. But that's not actually Yoshi drums, that's just music. Hey, Sean. It was good, thank you for asking. Oh, this thing. Okay, then. Oh, Mook's dead. God, its speed. What is its freaking speed? Not high enough. Yeah, Undertale does the same thing. Motifs is not the same as Yoshi drums. FF14, for example, has tons of motifs. Gardevoir. It's not her ace, too. Yeah, I'm not going to risk letting that thing survive. Florges, huh? You're just as hard to get rid of as caked on mascara. I need a good makeup remove. I was thinking about a Dream Whisperer, yeah. Time for a makeover. You'll become a new you. I see you. My bewitching beauty methods will cleanse you right down to the depths of your pores. Sort of saw that coming. Alright, Kennex Cow. Outspeed her, please. Thank you. Strength has a magic to it that cannot be washed away. Yeah, it's totally rarity. Lost the battle, and your beauty rivals even my own. Well, yeah, the mascara really pulls out my eyes. You're quite splendid, truly amazing. Perhaps I should take you under my wing before you make a big break elsewhere. But I suppose I need to work on myself a little more before I run off and do such a thing. Picture. Okay. Psychic. Don't go uploading that selfie to social media. I think my makeup has a little run with all the moving and sweating I did during our battle. I'll need to fix it before my next appointment. My schedule's absolutely packed, you know. Farewell. I feel like Monobrent would be the correct choice for that one, because I think Monobrent has my highest special attack. Rika here, at your service. These gyms really aren't giving you much trouble, are they? Rika, huh? Oh, right, you two haven't met, have you? This young man is Runner. He's so good with Pokemon, even La Primera's taken an interest in him. Oh, wow. I think the Pokemon on Team Poppy are really strong, too. Really strong. Which one of you is stronger, do you think? I'm one of the Elite Four, so I'm more amazing. Now aren't you just adorable? I know it's hard to believe, but this tiny one is indeed a member of the Elite Four. Yeah, I am. I'll have to show you my Pokemon soon, mister. So hurry up and come to the Pokemon League. It's where it's the pinnacle. It's where the pinnacle of Pokemon battling happens. So remember how I mentioned how the Elite Four should be like a part of the government? Maybe we should have an age restriction for that. Just random thought. Yeah, the League appears to be way chiller here, which is actually funny, considering the last game, the League was like the national sport. I mean, fair, Lord Harriman. Ow. Kennex Cow's special attack is higher than her attack. I didn't even realize that. I have nothing but physical attacks on her. Okay, no, never mind. Revelation Dance is a magic. And so is Air Cutter. I might have to adjust a few things there. Yeah. Okay, that's real water. Well, let's look at our moves over here, shall we? What else do we have? We do have Baton Pass. Not that we're going to make good use of that. I've never used Pokemon DB, so I can't speak to it, Sub-Zero. Honestly, I think I knew it existed, but I've never interacted with it, so... Oh, whatever. Sorry. I shouldn't get in the weeds on min-maxing my party. So if I remember correctly, now our next step is actually the Ice Gym, which we've already been to. And then after the Ice Gym, we've got Titan Dragon, and then, what is this? The Fairy Crew. And then, last is Fighting Crew. Pretty sure. Fairy. What the heck is Fairy weak to? This doesn't matter. Of course, Fairy would be weak to poison and steel. I'm also going to need an ice setup, which means I need Blade Ball to get up there, I think. Oh yeah, speaking of which. Have I missed an ability? Nope. What level does Ceruledge get Bitter Blade? Honestly, Mr. Red, and I know this isn't helpful, but the way I do it is I just go with stuff that interests me. I actually have had checkers. It was quite good. 48. Oh, you know what? I think you should have some candy. And then you should have some more candy. And then you should have some more candy. Oh, there it is. Bitter Blade. It's fire. Special attack, which sucks. Oh, no, that's physical attack. Never mind. Physical attack. Is that a drain? Is that a fire drain physical attack? Slicer for 90 damage with 100 accuracy? Yeah, I think we're going to be fine for the Ice Gym. And just to finish it off here. So we're so close to level anyways. Ahem. So let's see. Poison and steel. Do I have any poison? I don't think I do. Hang on. Where's my squad? Where's my options? Oh, Vigilant, actually. Maybe? I don't know what a bottle cap is. Where do I get a bottle cap? Real question, because... Yeah, Shadow Machine... I could just really sit down and think about getting some coins. Hold on. I actually swore he did say it was 50. Where was that guy? Oh god, where was I? I was just there. It was down here, right? I think. It was the Ghost Gym. I knew it was a gym I was just at. So, literally here. I do not have bottle caps. Okay, well, whatever. That sounds like a lot of money, Darkrai. In fact, I could buy 2 right now at that price. No, I still haven't sold my treasure items. Rainy day and all that. Let's try out this Bitter Blade, shall we? Yeah, one of these days I want to do an ice challenge, and that's probably going to be pretty rough. Ice is not great, really. Yeah, I'm eyeballing that Frostlass, debating if I want to try and catch it. Because, you know, oh, where'd it go? There it is. Good question, Lorraine. I'm not sure. Ah! Anyone want to be a Glaceon? Grab my Glaceon, which is over here. Add it to the list of the Pokemon just sitting on my desk. Or not Glaceon. I don't know why I said Glaceon. Frostlass. I want to be a Frostlass. Jesus Christ. It's my fault for reading and talking at the same time. It freezes prey by blowing its negative 58 Fahrenheit breath. It's said to then secretly display its prey. Anyone else? Probably PM3X. I think that's going to be going towards Dame Celeste. Double checking. Yes. It's 8 versus 7. Free was pretty close. Appropriate name for a Frostlass. was going to check what I was thinking about doing for a gym. Let me get to safety here. Yeah, I'm curious how traversal works in ZA. Because, you know, it's a city, but still. Cities can be big. Oops. I accidentally opened up my DS. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's what I thought. So in my hypothetical gym challenges going through the generations as we do so, I hadn't come up with one for Ice. Although I never did come up with one for Moon or Brilliant Diamond. I wonder if we could do an Ice challenge for Brilliant Diamond. I sure hope not, Morganite. And I mean that. I hope they take their freaking time. Stop churning, God. That's a shame, because I know Glaceon and Vanillux are both in Gen 4. And I think Frostlass is too. That's 3 solid ices. God, I'm just gonna get banned on YouTube because I'm talking about ice in plural. Multiple ice, YouTube. You're dumb. Alright, Oh, Vanillux was Gen 5? What was in Gen 4, then? Might have been the other thing. I don't know. I don't have a thing in front of me. Oh, screw ice. I hope ice burns in a fire. There you go. We're not doing an ice challenge in protest. Okay, so fairy, huh? Oh yeah, Lapras. We could use Lapras. I don't actually need to use it, but whatever. Nope, 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 nope. Where is it? I hear it. Is it on the roof? Yes. Okay, give me a few. There we go. It was on the roof. Yeah, honestly, if I'm going to do an ice... honestly, some of the challenges, if I'm going to do them, I'm probably going to do them based on either cheating to make a Pokemon happen earlier, or trading to make a Pokemon happen earlier. There are ways to do that that aren't really cheaty, right? Like, I could give myself a level 1 Glaceon, right? Yeah, exactly, Blateful. Like, it's not an insurmountable problem. Ice fossil? I have no idea. And yeah, I'm not going to do a randomizer just because at that point we're reviewing the randomizer, not the game. That hurt like hell. I was trying to capture that, not kill it. Oh god, wake up, Lore. Well, whatever, there's the base. Oh shoot, I didn't want to cut... Why is the cutscene triggering way out here? Whatever. I'm going to dinner. I'll be back. Peace, Clive.